Hello, my Giona here. It's 3:22 a.m. and I just finished watching Super Junior's Super Show spin-off halftime concert. I watched it online because obviously I'm not in South Korea, but this is the second day of the beginning of their tour for this spin-off concert of Super Show. It's already so late. I look like trash. It's been a long day. But I'm like, no, I really have to record something and talk about this concert because like I have so many feels. See, even my light stick's dead now. Like I've been going like this too hard earlier, and I think my battery is dead. First of all, when I heard that they're gonna do a concert and it's a spin-off of Super Show, so it's not an actual Super Show. You know, when you hear the word spin-off, it almost feels like a second rate of something because it's not the original one and it's kind of like just a piece of the actual thing. And so I didn't really have much expectations going into this, but I know it's Super Junior, so I knew I was gonna like it. I'm such a big fan, right? But oh my gosh, what they did with this one is insane. Literally, because I know they had the concert yesterday as well. The first day, like the actual first day of the concert. I did not look at anything on purpose because I didn't want to get spoiled, right? Because I'm watching on the second day. So I want everything to be fresh. I didn't look at like the set list. I didn't know what songs are going to come up. And so everything was a surprise for me watching this. And oh my God. So they started the concert with it started with Showtime. That's like their new release, like the single that they released recently. And that was no surprise, right? Because like it starts the show. It's called Showtime. And then they went on to sing like, what was it? Wonder Boys and Dancing Out. Like you never usually hear those things. Or if you do, like towards the end, right? And you can hear that their mics are on. Because they were breathing so heavily. And I was not used to that because Super Junior, they're really very good with, like their stamina is really good. They could go on for 3 hours straight with the concert and you barely hear them having a hard time. But here they were actually breathing hard and it was like the second or third song. And I really felt it, right? It's like, oh my gosh, we're all getting old. Because at that moment, I stood up and I was going like dancing out on the edge. And I was just going crazy as well. And after one song, I was sitting down because I was like so tired. So I can just imagine like how it was for them. And they're older than me. Like Itzek is like getting to 41 soon. But this is not like a diss on Super Junior. I actually really appreciated it because it really, like, it's natural. Like, you're getting older. And of course, like, you're gonna get tired faster, you know, and it's not like they sang it badly. It's just that I could hear them breathing more now as opposed to before. But they still killed it. It was so much fun. Like, the energy is just so up there for like the opening, right? And then the surprises did not end there. Oh my gosh, like the VCRs are amazing. Like the videos that they play in between songs. Oh, and there's that too. Like they started a concert with a VCR of Kang Ho-dong, and they had people, they had Isugun and Minho from SHINee, who's always very supportive of Super Junior. He didn't make it to this concert, but he's always been present to all Super Shows. Like he's always been so supportive. Minho, but he did a VCR. And it was about like the memories that they have like in connection to like things. And so there was like a blanket, an ice cream cone, and like a high five. And oh my gosh, that was so smart. Oh, and Shindong's company did like the VCRs, like the filming of it and everything. And yeah, the idea was just so good. They did like a reenactment of like dark moments in their lives as Super Junior. If you're a fan of Super Junior, you would know what I'm talking about. But there was this one instance where they almost disbanded. It was so bad. It was very trivial, like what happened, but it was like one thing on top of the other, and it just got blown out of proportion. And they almost disbanded for real because of Idonghae. But it was funny that they did a reenactment of that. And then they they use that to create like these like what if scenarios. And so they created like subunits that did not exist in reality, but they performed songs. And so, oh my gosh, it was LED, Itak and Hyuk Donghae, who performed first. And they did like a song by LSS, Suit Up. That was Suit Up, right? Suit Up! Yeah, oh my gosh. I was screaming so hard because I did not expect it. And the name was so funny, LED, right? Like, Itak did so well. And then after that, it was, oh my gosh, it was Sky. So Shin Dong, Kyuhyun, Yesong. And they sang, what did they sing? It was a KRY song. Oh, wait, 잠깐만. Shoot, they sang Let's Not. Like, for real, it's been so long. That was like in the third album. I remember that song. It was my favorite back then with my friend Sheila. Hi, Sheila. And I can't believe I still have the song memorized and I haven't sang that for so long. And like the memories just came back, and Shindong did so well. He had to sing Ryok's parts because Ryok is like originally in KRY, but Shindong had to do it, and oh my gosh, he was so good. Actually, Shindong was so good in everything for this concert. It was amazing, and even the members were complimenting him, saying like, "Oh, I could hear your voice. Like it was just so big and loud and clear." I'm like, oh, Shindong, you did so well. He was amazing. But, oh my gosh. So, there are only 8 members who perform for this show. So, I knew who is going to be the next subunit. And, oh my gosh. I knew who it was going to be. It's Ryok and Jiwon, right? Because of the high five thing. High five 하지마. 자신 있어. Like, oh, I knew it. I knew it was going to be them, but I did not expect what song they were going to sing. So they were called RNS. Whew, I did not know I needed that in my life. They sang Diany's Danger, and I'm like, okay, I don't think in my whole fangirl life that I fangirled over Ryok this hard. Like, seriously, I was screaming so hard. It was like 1 a.m. something around that time. I was screaming so hard. My throat started to hurt. It was just so crazy. I was like literally screaming so hard. I did not expect them to do that. Hey, Shiwon was amazing. And it was so funny how he was like taking his jacket off like Donghae. So I'm thinking like he's the Donghae counterpart, and then Ryok is Hyukjae. But my gosh, they did so well. Even like the beginning, like the pose that went like this, right? Like the one that goes like that. They were already so cool. Like their outfit were amazing. Like, oh my gosh, whenever they go like, thank you! And I'm like, yeah! They did so well. Like I didn't know Ryok could reach that level of hotness. It's so annoying. Like, how did he become like this 멋있어 after he got married? Like, dude, this is not fair. But I feel like he's let go of everything and he's very happy with his life. And it manifests. Like, you can see it on his face. Like, it reflects on his face and how he acts. I feel like he's just so happy with his life right now. So I'm happy for him too. But yeah, so they did that. That was such a great idea to create like those what if subunits, because like we don't see those things, but it was nice to see the combinations in here and like showing off like the members talents. Like I never thought Ryok would sing a song that DNA sang. Like that's insane. Like his image has never been that, you know? But he did so well. And like Shindong was really amazing in singing a ballad too. But that's not where it ends, because then they started singing like the solo songs. So solos by Ryok, Kyuhyun, and Yesong, like their solo songs, and they sang it as a group. Like, oh my gosh, isn't that something that we've always asked for? Like, that's insane. And here's where I really appreciate Super Junior. First of all, they listen to their fans, because like it's something that fans have always wanted, for them to sing solos as a whole group. They did so well, okay? It was not perfect. Like, if you were gonna ask me, was it perfect? No, it was not. They made some mistakes, and there are some parts like it failed, you know. They were even teasing Shiwon about it. Like, dude, you failed. You failed that last part. Like, you were so wrong. But, oh gosh, like a group that's 19 years old in the industry. They've been in this industry for 19 years, and yet they keep trying new things. Like, I really appreciate that. It's not perfect, because like nothing's gonna be perfect on your first try, right? Like, you try it out, and then you practice it, and then you get better. And so even though the performance was not perfect, I really appreciated it much, much more in this way, because it didn't match. You know, like, it wasn't perfect, but it was beautiful because they tried and they challenged something. Like, if it was me, like, even at work, right? Because you're so used to doing things that you're good at, you just stay with that within your comfort zone, and then you don't go out of it to challenge yourself, to improve yourself. But Super Junior does that every time. Even with this concert alone, to have the guts to say we're gonna do something completely different from what we've done is like, oh my gosh, it's insane. And I love how they talk about it too. Like, after the performance, they would tease each other, but then they would support them as well. Like, oh, there was this part, it would be nice if you start this off with like this right pitch so that everybody gets on that, and then it gets better, right? Like, they give each other's like corrections and guidelines on how to fix it and do better next time. Like, that's kind of hard to do if you don't have that relationship of like being able to lovingly correct each other. And there's also one part when they sang, oh my gosh, 한 사람을, like KRY's first ever song. They sang it as a group, and Ituk did the high part at the end, and Ryuk sang after him, but Ryuk went like this while he was singing, and I'm like, wow, Ituk deserved that. Like, that acknowledgement from Ryuk that, dude, Hyung, you did so well, because he did. Like, oh my gosh, I just love it. You can see the relationship between them, not just, you know, like the bond as friends, but also as professionals who have been in the industry for so long. And then they also did like this what if of like, if Super Junior did not stay as like the Super Junior '05 group, but like did the graduating system. And so they did songs from, I think it was Rise, right? Play a guitar. That's Rise's song, right? Like the new group from SM. And then they also did Hype Boy. Is Hype Boy, I think, by New Jeans, right? Sorry, I'm like really bad with like new stuff. I really don't know any new songs if Super Junior didn't do it, but like they did sound familiar. I probably hear them from TikTok. But it was so cute because they wanted to be known to like the teenagers or like the Gen Zs. Like, it was a really good try, and it actually did so good. Like, Ituk, he was amazing. I'm like, what the heck? And then the other boys did Hype Boy. But with Hype Boy, they were also hyped. Like, especially Kyuhyun. He was just going like, yeah, let's go. And Hyukja did so well. It was also nice to see them. There was like this one VCR where they were talking about the concert and what they want to do with it. They also mentioned during like just a regular Ment that at first it was supposed to be a fan meeting. But then Hyukjae and Shindong were like, nope, we're doing a concert. This can't be a fan meeting. Like, it has to be a concert. And thank you. You guys know what we want. But there they did mention about their concerns, about their stamina and their age, and wanting to do new things, you know, trying to keep up to the trends and stuff like that. And it really puts things in perspective. Like, they've been in the industry for so long. Like, even for me, like, when I think back to it, like, dang, I've been a fangirl for so long. But that's, like, another thing that I really like about Super Junior. They just don't give up. Or, like, they really want to improve and do new things for people. Not just for the fans, but for whoever's gonna watch their show or whatever content that they release. And you can see how hard it is for them now. Like, I felt really bad for Hyukjae especially. It really seems like he was not feeling well, and he felt so bad because I guess yesterday, he, like, during the first day of the concert, he wasn't able to sing as well as he wanted to. But like even today, dang, he looked sick, and his voice was like it's almost gone by the end of the concert. But he's like, no, I told myself that I will do my best and I won't feel bad for my performance. And I'm like, Hyukjae, you don't have to push yourself so hard. But that's who they are, right? They are performers, and they want to give their best whenever they're on stage because they feel like they shouldn't disappoint. Which is like, I understand that. But being a fan, I'm like, oh, I don't want you to push yourself so hard, especially like in the age that we are in now. And it's not really your fault if all of a sudden you get sick, right? Like, I really appreciate you being there, but I mean, that's who they are. These people just, they work so hard. But yeah, they did so many new things here, but towards the end, they still brought back, like, oh my gosh, no, I totally forgot, they did Spy! Like, the actual Spy with, like, the choreography and all that was, like, amazing. But they did mention this. They were like, I thought people would, like, welcome Spy a lot more, but then people were more into Kaljung. So A Man in Love, oh my gosh, when they performed A Man in Love, I was like, wrecked. Seriously, literally, A Man in Love is the first ever Super Junior song that I heard. So when my friend told me about them and kept like nagging me to watch Super Junior, I didn't know anything about this group, but she made me watch MTV Asia Awards, and this is the first song that they performed. So they performed A Man in Love, and then they performed Mirror. So Mirror is my favorite song from Super Junior because of that, but literally the first song from Super Junior that I heard was A Man in Love, and it had like this intense choreo. They were really great. Like Hangyong was like right there. Was Hangyong actually there? I can't remember now. Oh my gosh. But Hangyong is like really, really good, like with this choreo. But I remember Ryok had orange hair then. But yeah, they performed that. It was insane. And I was like, oh my gosh, are they really not gonna perform Sorry Sorry? But they did in the end. And Ichik's like, well, we have to do Sorry Sorry, right? Like, no matter how many times we say like, oh, I'm so done of Sorry Sorry, but when it plays, you're just like, sorry, 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 sorry. Oh my gosh. But yeah, they perform songs that they don't usually perform. So like, they performed Lovely Day, From You, oh my gosh. And then they ended it with Believe. It was such a good set list. I love it so much. When the members were talking, like in the end, right, towards the end, they usually have this final mint. And just the things that come out from these guys' mouths. It's just the things that I wanted to hear and I needed to hear. That's always what it is with Super Junior. It's so weird. I feel like it's because like we've grown old together, like just walking together side by side all this time. And I feel like we just get each other so much. Like it's a really interesting fangirling experience for me. I've been here so long, and like I feel like I've gone through all of that stages, like when I was a teenager, going like insane over these guys. Like they're so handsome, they're so talented. I'm gonna marry Ryuk one day, right? To the point now that I'm still very excited to see them, but there's none of that like teenage emotions. Dang, I'm old. But it's just like all like the fluffy, warm feelings. And whenever they talk about it too, like Kyuhyun mentioned that like whenever I look at the seats and like I can't believe that that we were able to fill like this venue at our 19th year, and you guys are still there. And he talks about like fans being loyal to them, like staying with them until now. And it's like, yo, I wasn't there from the beginning, but I know I'm gonna be there until the end. And they're just always so kind. Like Shiwon even says, like, I always pray for you guys. I pray for you every night. I'm even gonna go to church to pray for you guys after this. It's just so sweet. Like Shiwon. But yeah, I feel like I'm just rambling on and on, but this video was just supposed to talk about how much I appreciate Super Junior and the things that they do, Cause like I remember when they announced that Kyuhyun, Eunhyuk, and Donghae are gonna go to different agencies, I was honestly worried because it felt like, oh, it's gonna be a long time until we get to see them all together. Even though they promised like, oh, when there is a comeback for the group and we're doing activities as a group, they are gonna come back to SM for those. So they have separate contracts for that. But it felt like it's gonna take a long time because they're doing different things now. But seeing them like this and they're joking about their different agencies, it's just hilarious. But you can still see like how Kyuhyun and like DNE, they're still very grateful to SM, and that's really good because no matter what it is that you don't like about them now, or even like, you know, the changes and everything, but to be able to appreciate them helping you out from the beginning and like what you've become now has something to do with what they did for you back then, and always being grateful for that. Like even Han-kyung always talks about being grateful to SM despite everything that he's been through. Like it was hard on Han-kyung, but he's always been so grateful, and Super Junior is like that too. But just them being together, like I always say this, but Super Junior really don't have to work anymore. These people are so rich. They've worked so hard for so long that I know they have savings and all that. Like literally they don't have, like, do they even have to? Like Shiwon seriously can live affluently his whole life without having to work, and yet this guy comes in here and does silly things in Super Junior on stage. Like, oh my gosh, it just shows how much they like being with each other and performing for the fans. And as a fan for a long time, I really appreciate that. I love seeing that. It just makes me really happy. And like, you know, in life there's so many things that we get so distracted, and so many things to be sad about, so many things that makes us anxious and worry, and so many problems. But I realized while I was watching this show for 3 hours, they usually have long shows, but I realized I did not think of anything, any problem that I'm dealing with or struggling with. I did not think of that at all. And Super Junior just have that. It's not like they make you forget and not just do anything. Like, in contrary, they make me feel so good and so I feel so encouraged watching them thrive even this late in their career, and them still trying new things. It makes me feel like I can do things too, you know, like I can try new things and I can challenge myself as well. They really inspire like the best things in me, and isn't that something that's really good between like a fan and an idol? Oh my gosh, I gotta stop now. I'm just gonna keep talking about Super Junior, but I guess I just want to say I freaking love Super Junior so much. If you're still here at the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I hope like if you watch Super Show spin-off, I hope that you enjoyed as much as I did. If you are new to Super Junior, well, thank you for watching this. I hope you can check them out. They've been in the industry for a while, and there's a lot of content that you can catch up on. That's a good thing. But if you could just give Super Junior a chance, I'm thinking that they would also help you out with life. And, you know, even like a little happiness goes a long way. And that's what they did for me and for all the other elf out there. So yeah, Super Junior, good job with this concert. I'm so excited for the 20th anniversary next year and for all the other things that you're going to do for the 19th anniversary this year. But oh my gosh, I will do everything in my power to go to Korea for the 20th anniversary. And Heechul's gonna be there. They teased it at the end. Heechul's gonna be in the 20th anniv concert. So I'm like, we're going. I texted my friend. I'm like, we're going to Korea in November next year. I'll see you guys there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know what you thought of the concert of Super Junior down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. I love you. Suju sarangin.